Welcome to Connect with Citizens. I'm your host, Doug Filaroski, filling in for Scott Mathis. I'm here today with Alden Mullins, Director in Citizens Communications, Legislative and External Affairs Division. The communications folks, they manage communications to internal and external audiences like policyholders, agents, employees on a variety of different topics using all kinds of channels. Welcome, Alden.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here.
The communications division, could you tell us a little, well, not so much us, as I'm a CLIA employee, but our audience about the division. How is the communications unit set up? How many employees does it have? That sort of thing.
We are a small division. There's 25 of us that are responsible for communications. We have our corporate communications area. They are in charge of all the articles on the internal website, all of our faces and teams highlights. They help other areas write, other divisions write their internal communications. Mm-hmm. We have our tech team, which stands for Technical Education and Communications. They're primarily responsible for our agent and policyholder communications. We have our digital communications area, which works very closely with tech and corporate communications to enhance the written communications with images, website design, social media posts that all correspond to the articles. And we have a strategic services area where we have a product owner, a business analyst, and 2 project managers.
Okay. Yeah, I mentioned at the top that they use all kinds of channels. Could you explain what that means? What are the channels we're talking about here? How do they get the images and messages out to the different audiences?
Yes, we use as many as we can. The main ones that everybody are familiar with and see a lot are, of course, social media. Everybody's familiar with social media. We have the internal website, which is for our employees. We have citizensfla.com, which of course is for our external audiences. Right. Policyholders, agents, and adjusters all have their own sites. Mm-hmm. We use emails. Let's face it, there's a lot of emails. However, that is the channel that everyone uses most and is most familiar with. We have our video series, of course, this Connect with Citizens, and we also started a new series, Tech Talk, and our podcast, Citizens in Focus.
So yes, a lot of people are probably familiar with a lot of these communications channels that we all use. But what sort of topics, what campaigns, what are we all communicating out to our various audiences?
The sky is the limit. We will help everyone in the organization get their messaging out no matter what it is. We've been asked to help with messaging related to corporate approved fundraising events. We help different divisions with their division messaging. Of course, everything on the internal website, your faces highlights, manager articles. And of course, we're always involved with large corporate events such as Citizen Celebrates, Employee Appreciation Day. All of the messaging related to these topics come through corporate communications.
That's right.
Our technical communications group, our tech area, they are primarily responsible, like we discussed, for agent and policyholder communications. So if there's a rate change, a rule change, if there's a system change that impacts agents, it's this group's responsibility to get that message out. But for each agent communication, there are associated internal messages. There are FAQs to update. We have to update the website. So there are multiple channels associated with each communication. We have a policyholder newsletter that is sent quarterly to all of our policyholders. And of course, all hands are on deck during a CAT event.
Yeah, that's so critical to our company, responding to our customers after a catastrophic event like that, a hurricane. In fact, we just had a winter storm this last month. Could you tell us a little bit more about how the communications folks get involved in that, responding after CATs?
Yes, Winter Storm Finn, that was a new one for us where we had to do communications that were CAT related, but not tropical event related. So we had to make a lot of adjustments to our communications for that event. But for CAT season, we prepare just like everyone else in the organization. We get all of our communications ready. Everything is laid out. As much pre-work is done as possible so that we can get communications out very timely during a CAT event. We send communications at the beginning of storm season, just reminding everyone it's coming, providing tips, asking them to get all their important documents in one location. We encourage them to sign up for My Policy. Who do you contact in the event you have damage during a storm? As much information as we can get to them before they're looking for it. And then that goes on to when watches or warnings are issued for the state. Communications is responsible for sending out all of the binding messaging. And then we send information to the policyholders and agents, again, saying it's coming. And then, of course, we use text messages, the website, banners, social media, and more emails after the storm to, again, reach out, let people know how they can get help, file claims, and to tell them where our CRCs are located in the event they're deployed.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a pretty important function. I mean, in fact, everything the company does has a communications component to it. So yeah, it sounds like a busy organization. Is there anything else we didn't cover during our talk?
A million things, yes. We are always busy and there's always lots to communicate. But I think one of the most important things to share is that we love the collaboration with all of the other divisions and business units. Whenever anyone comes to us and says, here's the new thing or the latest thing or the change or it's open enrollment again, we are ready. We are ready to write. We are ready to edit. We're ready to provide design services in any way we can to help get the message out to all of our stakeholders.
Well, that's great, Alden. Thanks so much for the information. I'm really glad you were able to be here.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Well, that's another Connect with Citizens. I'm glad you were able to join us. We hope to see you next time.